need to set the alarm for school tomorrow. What's this cyclone that we're living in? We learn, we work, we get married, have kids, bring them up, then life finishes. So why did God create us? So that we can all live in the same vortex? So, Doctor, I have another question for you. What's the purpose of our existence in this life? Like, why are we created?
Look, Adam, I'll explain it in different ways and you try and understand it. Who goes and asks somebody who has created something so wonderful and beautiful, why did you create this? So an example, somebody who's created such a beautiful, beautiful building. Who's going to say, why did you create? Or the same thing, asking an artist about their masterpiece, why did they create it? It doesn't really make sense asking a creative creator, why did you create your work? Without doubt, mankind is the most beautiful creation of Allah. Far more beautiful than the heavens and the earth and the mountains. He's created for us brains and soul, just so much beauty. It doesn't really make sense asking a creator, why did you create? That's one. Number two, and it's really, really important point. The creator does whatever he wishes to do. He can't be questioned about what he does, but they will all be questioned. Why did you do this? See, everybody will do whatever their role is. Is your role as a creator or a slave creation? I'm a slave creation. You do your role. Thirdly, who invented... Okay, I'll tell you, who invented football? Who knows?
An Englishman.
Yes, the English. Who set the initial rules of the game?
The English.
The ones who created it. Isn't that right? Right. Would it make sense for somebody to come and say, no, I'm not really content with the rules of the game. I want the goal to be 3 yards instead of 12. Are you the one who invented it? Whoever creates it makes the rules that governs that. Isn't that right? And that's why there's an ayah. The creation and the command belongs to him alone. The creator commands. The one who created puts the system. The English who created football put the system. Allah, the one who created the universe, puts the system. Okay, another point. So far, it's all making sense? Is it all making sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, another point. Why did he create us? After everything I said, just wanted to say, why would you be surprised that he created you? Okay, let's just go back to Adam's question. Adam, didn't you ask the question? Why did he create us? Why do we exist? He created us so we occupy the land. The entire universe will be under your disposal. And you're all responsible for this earth.
To build upon it?
Build upon it, fix it, and do good. And then come to me, so I will grant you your place in paradise, to live in it eternally. Because you're the best of my creations.
Better than the angels?
Of course, we're better. The angels will be your servant in paradise. Angels don't have a choice between good and evil. You're the one who has the choice between good and evil. You choose whatever you want. Such beauty. Oh Allah, what's all this kindness? We are the best and the most beloved creation. Indeed, we have dignified the children of Adam, carried them on land and sea, granted them good and lawful provisions, and privileged them far above many of our creation. Walk on the street, see a cat or a dog, and say, praise be to Allah. You're high, far more privileged. If there was a scale of different creations of Allah, you'd be at the top of that list. If the universe was a tree, you'd be the fruit of this tree. And then he said, all of this is under your disposal. The believers believe that we have been created to worship Allah and build upon the land, do good, and then enter paradise. What do the atheists who don't believe in the existence of God say? We don't know. So you don't have an answer, but I do have an answer, and yet you have an opinion on my answer? Let me give you a light-hearted example of a university professor from a prestigious university. One day, students entered the lecture hall to find a question on the board. Okay, the professor entered the lecture hall to be surprised by the question on the board. So clearly, he didn't write it. His response was to turn to the students and ask them to answer the question. The students proceeded to answer the question, and then when they finished, the professor collected all their answer sheet, started marking them, and then it was Fail, 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 fail. Nobody answered correctly. So one of the students asked the professor, "Did you write the question?" "No, I entered the hall and saw the question there." "So professor, if all our answers were wrong, then what's the right answer?" He said, "I don't know." That's exactly how atheists are. I don't know. The question is there, but to them everyone's answer is wrong. So another clever student asked, "If you don't know the answer yourself, how can you judge that my answer is wrong?" At that moment he was quiet. So did you get that? The question is written, why were we created? The Quran has the answer. For you to worship Allah, build the land, do good, and then enter paradise. The believers said, done. We will do this so we can please Allah, and by His mercy we enter paradise. So the atheist response to that answer is, the answer is wrong. So what's the right answer? We don't know. Come on, man. Do you see where I'm going from? And this is why atheists tend to be more likely emotionally tired. Because they don't have an answer to this.
There is a higher rate of suicide.
More to the point, I've met many atheists and they tell me that you believers are in a better state than us because you have the answer. But I don't have the answer and so I'm drained. Son, you're the one who brought it upon yourself. Yeah, but my mind can't accept the answer. Do you see what I mean by when I said decision requires your mind and heart? It just can't be your mind by itself. Guidance. You see, the way to get a relaxing answer is simply to talk to God. Oh God, guide me. I can't understand this. Help me comprehend this. Let me be satisfied by the answer. Get me closer to you. And I tried this method with an atheist Brazilian girl. I said to her, talk to him. How do I talk to him when I don't even believe in him? I said, your heart will guide you to him. Sit before a beautiful scenic view and tell him, don't leave me alone. But maybe Mother Nature created this natural view. I said, are you shy to attribute the beauty of the creation to God? She swapped the word God for Mother Nature, just so you can avoid using the word God, so instead you use a different word. Because a belief in nature will not result in you being committed to a new life of prayer and halal and haram. So you use a word that has no obligation. Believe it or not, the girl actually tried, and then she sent me messages of her journey. She once said, when I sit in nature, I realize this can't be Mother Nature. The rules and the intricate system must be put in place by a far superior thing that can impose adherence of this nature to the system in place. The universe is operating in a closed system, fixed rules that governs it. So who now put this fixed rule for nature?
There is no one else but him.
The girl changed. I don't know if she did revert to Islam, but the last thing I know is that this girl said, I have begun to believe that there must be a deity. Because she started using both her mind and heart. Atheists are tired because they are heavily reliant on just the mind. And in the end, your mind is short-lived and limited in its capacity. It can't tell you who's knocking the door if somebody was to knock on the door now. So do I have to use my mind in the process? Of course! You have to use your mind in the process. This is what we're here for. But don't just rely on your thought process without the heart. Ask for guidance by your heart. Do you like the idea? So who here has another question?